Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about one of the important data structure by name stack. And those students who have missed my first video, please go through my first video to know what exactly you mean by the term data structure and how the data structure can be classified into linear and non-linear data structure. Now coming to stack. First we'll define what do you mean by stack, and then we'll see what are the different operations that are associated with the stack and how to implement those operations. We'll start with the definition of stack. We can define a stack as non-primitive. We can define stack as a non-primitive linear data structure I have told what exactly you mean by non-primitive and linear data structure in my previous video. In any data structure, if we find adjacency relationship between among the elements, then it is linear data structure. Even in case of stack, we'll be having that particular association, the adjacency association between the element. So we'll define stack as a non-primitive linear data structure wherein the insertion and the deletion operation, the most common operation that we perform on any data structure is insertion and deletion operation. So we are defining this particular stack data structure with respect to its insertion and deletion operation, wherein the insertion and the deletion operation are done from the same end. We will use only one end to perform both the insertion and the deletion operation. And that end, in case of a stack, we call it as the top of the stack. Note that the particular end is called as the top of the stack. With respect to a stack, generally the insertion operation is called as push, and the deletion operation is called as a pop. These are the most generic operations that we perform on a stack. Push. Whenever we push a new element, whenever we insert a new element onto a stack, it is called as push. And whenever we delete an element from a stack, it is called as pop. And one more thing about stack is, in case of a stack, the last element inserted will be the first to be deleted or retrieved out. Note that in case of a stack, the element that you have inserted last will be the first one to be deleted out. In the sense, the element that was inserted first will be the last one to be deleted out. Based on that particular definition, as stated here, the last element in a stack will be the last element inserted. Will be the first to be retrieved or deleted out. So this is called as LIFO. Last in, first out. Last element inserted will be the first to be deleted out. This is about the definition of a stack. I'll repeat the definition once again. Stack can be defined as a non-primitive linear data structure wherein insertion and deletion are done from the top of the stack. Generally, the insertion operation is called as push, and the deletion operation in case of a stack is called as pop. In a stack, the last element that was inserted will be the first to be deleted out. Maybe in my coming videos, in my next videos, we'll see what do you mean by, or what are the different applications of stack. Maybe in this, we'll concentrate more on the operation that we perform on the stack. The most common operation that we perform on a stack are the insertion and the deletion. Insertion is called as a push. The deletion is called as pop. As well as in this video, we'll see even how to display the content of the stack. Now coming to the insertion operation. Note that this insertion operation is also called as push. Now before inserting any element onto the data structure, generally that particular data structure will be empty. Now I'll assume that I have some memory location to design it as a stack. I'll assume that okay, the size is 5. The size is 5, which are indexed from 0 to 4. 0 to 4. I'll assume that the stack size is 5. The stack size is 5. This is what I have done. Now before inserting any element onto my stack is empty. We have defined a stack with respect to the top of the stack. The insertion operation and the deletion operation are done with the top of the stack. Before inserting any element onto my stack, the top will be pointing to -1. This should be the initial value of your top. Top is being initialized to -1. Now I want to add a new element. I want to insert a new element onto the stack. Say for example, I want to insert 10. Now I want to insert, rather than writing insert, I want to push 10 onto my stack. Now onto this particular stack, if I want to push 10, what I need to do? I need to increment my top from -1 to 0, and I will assign 10 at this particular position. So what happens is, after inserting 10, my stack looks something like this. I need to update my top from -1 to 0, and I will initialize 10 here. This is my top. I have pushed only one element onto stack. As you see, there are 4 more empty spaces in my stack. I can push 4 more elements. Say for example, if I want to push 20, same things. Increment the top from 0 to 1, and then push that particular element, insert that particular element at that particular position. Now I have inserted 20 onto my stack. Similarly, I can insert, I can push 30, 40, and so on. Now assume that on pushing 50 onto my stack, my stack will look something like this. My top will be pointing to 4, and these are my elements onto the stack, onto my stack. So this is about the push operation. Note that in case of push or insertion operation, I need to increment my top, and I need to assign that particular element at top of the stack. So what we do in case of insertion? Let me write and generate algorithm. Generate algorithm onto stack. So first thing is we need to increment the top. And then we assign. Then we assign the element, and then we assign the new element or the element on top of stack. This is what we have done. Now at this particular instance, my stack size was 5, and it is holding 5 elements. Is there any room to push a new element onto stack? No, it is not possible. If stack is full, I can't push a new element onto the stack. That condition is called as overflow. So note that what is overflow? Overflow condition occurs when we try to push an element on a stack which is full. So this is called as an overflow condition. Note that whenever you are performing the insertion operation, first you should check for overflow condition. If I take this instance, is it overflow? No, because there are no elements in my stack. I can push. In this case, is it overflow? No, because there is only one element. I can push 4 more elements. This is not overflow. This one, even this is not overflow, because there are 3 empty slots, which implies I can insert 3 more elements. But whereas in this case, my stack is full, and if I try to push a new element, say 60, then your stack cannot hold 60 because stack is full. So note that the condition is called as overflow. Note that overflow occurs when we try to perform a push operation on a stack which is full. So every time when you try to push an element onto stack, you should first check for overflow. So in case of the insertion operation, before performing this two operation, you should always check for overflow. First thing is you should check for overflow. If this condition is true, then it implies that you can't perform the push operation. If this condition is false, then only you can push a new element onto the stack. You need to increment the top, and then you need to assign the element at the top of the stack. This is about what do you mean by the push operation on a stack. Note that every time before pushing the element onto stack, first you need to check for overflow. If it is true, it implies that you can't push a new element. If it is false, then increment the top and then assign a new element on top of the stack. Hope this is clear. This is about the push operation on the stack. Now coming to the next operation. The next operation is called as pop. The deletion operation on a stack. It is called as the pop. We'll take some instance. Initially, I will assume that this is my stack of size 5, and assuming that I have not inserted any elements, I have not pushed any element onto my stack, then my top will be pointing to -1. This will be my top, which is pointing to -1. Now, if I assume that I have performed some push operation, onto my stack, let me take one more instance wherein I will assume that I have pushed 5 elements onto my stack: 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Index from 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, this is my top. Now, as per the definition of stack, last in first out of this 5 element, the element that was inserted last was 50. Now, in this particular stack, if I perform a deletion operation, 50 should be deleted. That is, after performing a pop operation on this particular stack, now my stack should look something like this. 50 gets deleted. If 50 gets deleted, my top should be pointing here. I will be left out with 40, 30, 20 and 10. This is after one pop operation. On this stack, if I perform one more pop operation, it looks something like this. Now, in this stack, which is the topmost element is 40. Now, if I pop, 40 gets popped. So I will be left out with 30, 20 and 10. And this will be my top. Now, if I perform one more pop operation, top of stack in this case is 30 gets popped. I'll be left out with only 20 and 10, and this will be my top. So note that in case of the pop operation, first the element gets popped. So I'll write a generalized algorithm here. Generalized algorithm would be delete the topmost element. Once I delete the topmost element, 50 is deleted. What we do with respect to top? Top should be decrement. It should be decremented. Decrement top. Now in this case, if I perform a pop operation, 20 gets popped. After that, if I perform one more pop operation, 10 gets popped. Okay. After popping 10, my stack looks something like this. Now in this case, in the sense, my stack is empty. On an empty stack, if I perform a pop operation, is it going to fetch anything? No. You are not going to get any element on an empty stack. Note that particular condition is called as underflow. So in case of pop operation, we come across underflow. What is underflow? Underflow on an empty stack. If we perform pop, then it is termed as underflow. So note that whenever you are performing a pop operation, first you should check whether there are some elements in the stack or not. On an empty stack, if you perform a pop operation, then it is not going to fetch you any element. So this algorithm, so before performing the pop operation, first thing is check for underflow. Check for underflow. If this underflow is true, then you can't perform pop operation. If this underflow is false, then only you can perform the deletion or the pop operation. How to perform deletion operation? Delete the topmost element, decrement the top to the previous value. That is decrement the top. Hope this is clear. This is about the pop operation. This is about the pop operation. We are left out with one more operation. We are left out with one more operation called display. We'll just see how to perform the display operation on the stack. We'll take 3 instances of my stack to explain how to perform the display operation. Note that there are no specific name to perform display operation. Insertion operation was called as push, deletion operation was called as a pop. In most of the data structure, apart from trees and graphs, there the display operation has a specific name. But whereas in the data structure like linked list, queue and stack, we don't have any generic name for the display operation. The operation is called as display itself. So note that in case of display operation, what we are supposed to do, our objective is to display the content of the stack. I will take first instance wherein there are no elements in my stack. My stack is empty. We all know that if stack is empty, top will be pointing. Top will be having a value of -1. Now, if I assume one more instance wherein I have performed a push operation twice or thrice. Assume that okay, I have pushed 3 elements onto my stack, 10, 20, 30. After pushing 3 elements onto my stack looks something like this, and the top will be pointing to 2. One more instance, if I assume that I have performed 5 push operation on my stack, I will be having 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, and my top will be pointing here. Now on this particular instance, if I perform a display operation, it will not display anything because stack is empty. On this particular instance, if I perform a display operation, it will display the stack content as 30, 20, 10. Now in this case, it should display the stack content as 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10. 20 and 10. That is, if you see the second instance and the third instance, the element 30, 20 and 10 as well as the elements 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10 are bounded from top to 0 or top to 0. That is from 2 to 0. Stack of 2 is 30 and my stack of 1 is 20 and stack of 0 is 10. Similarly, even in this case, stack of 4 is 50, stack of 3 is 40 and so on. So, we'll write a generic algorithm. The algorithm to display is how to display. Just iterate from top. Iterate from top to 0. Iterate from top to zeroth location, and just display the element at that location, at that particular location. Now in this case, if stack is empty, is it possible to display? No. So before performing this operation, you should always check whether stack is empty. Quite simple. How to check whether stack is empty? If top is having a value of -1, then stack is empty. So if this is false, then only go for this. If this condition is true, if stack is empty, no need to iterate. iterate from top to 0 because nothing is stored in your stack. So this is about the display operation. Note that in case of push, we come across overflow. One instance is this. If stack is full and if you are trying to perform a push operation, then it gives overflow. Note that how to denote overflow condition. If top is pointing to 4. What is 4? 4 is that stack size is 5. I can say if top is having a value of size minus 1, then it is called as overflow condition. With respect to pop operation, whenever you are performing a pop operation, first check whether stack is empty or not. On an empty stack, if you perform a pop operation, it is called as underflow. How to denote an empty stack? Empty stack can be denoted is if top is having a value of minus 1, then it is underflow condition. Now with respect to display operation, will not associate any term like underflow, overflow. We'll just check for whether stack is having some element or whether stack is not having any element. If stack is not having any element, then we can't perform a display operation. So in case of display, first thing, check whether stack is empty. If stack is empty, then you can't display. If it is false, then only you can display the content of the stack from top to bottom or from top to 0. Hope this is clear. Maybe in the next video, we'll see how to implement this push, pop and display operation with respect to C. Thank you.